Today we are making a video on Linux Mint 21.2 Xfce desktop environment, and the code name for the Linux Mint 21.2 is Victoria. So as you can see, this is a boot menu of Linux Mint. You already know. So let's quickly boot it in the live boot, and I'm going to show everything which is changed. There is no release note announced in the Linux Mint website, so we need to wait for that. As soon as they release, I will be posting it in the description, so you don't need to worry. I'll be in update in the description. So it's going to take a maximum of 1 minute or 30 seconds because it's a beta edition. Usually it takes like 20 to 30 seconds if it's a stable release, but it's a beta edition. We can wait for a few more seconds. And that is a quick logo Linux Mint, as you can see. Just a few more seconds and we should be having our Xfce desktop environment completely loaded with Linux Mint 21.2. And I'm running it as a virtualization, which is a VMware with 80 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM, and with 2 processors. And my CPU is like a 12th gen i5. I'm running it on a laptop, not a desktop. Again, I already posted a video on Linux Mint 21.2 Mat desktop environment. If you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this video. And here is our mouse pointer, almost completely loaded, I guess. Just a few more seconds, that's it. Connection established, and here is our desktop. Let me first change the display resolution. Let's open the application menu, system, settings, display. My monitor is a 1920 x 1080, so let's scroll it down and find that thing. Click on apply. Keep this configuration, and again remember this is a beta edition. If you only want to try it, you can test it on the virtualization like a VMware or a virtual box. Don't try to install it on a main PC or a work PC because it's a beta edition. It should be having some bugs we properly don't know, so be careful while testing this thing. So let's first open the task manager and find out how much of our resources are consuming. In the beginning, because we didn't open any of the apps, just settings to change the monitor. So these are all the processes running right now, as you can see on the screen, and it's almost like a 293, 295 like that. And CPU is almost around like a below 30%, and the memory is almost 940 MB. And it's a Xfce desktop environment, and Xfce desktop environment is known to be a lightweight Linux desktop environment, like LXQt and LXDK also the lightweight. So these are all the resources consuming right now. So let's check the version of the task manager 1.5.5. so let me close this thing and open the terminal. Let's type in here, which is a terminal, and let's type in the command which will give the complete distro info, which is inxi-sv8. This is the command which will grab complete distro info. Let me first change the theme of the terminal so you can properly look at it. Load preset, black and white. So let's scroll it up and find complete information. Host is a Linux Mint, and kernel version is a 5.15.0-73, and it's a 64-bit architecture or a 64-bit ISO file. Compiler GCC version is 11.3.0, and the Xfce desktop environment version is a 4.18.1, and also Linux Mint 21.2 Victoria. The codename is Victoria, and it comes with the 3 desktop environment, which is Linux Mint Cinnamon desktop environment, and the Xfce desktop environment, and the Mat desktop environment. These are all the 3 desktop environments available right now, and it's based on like a Ubuntu 22.04 Jammy Jellyfish. It's a LTS version which is long-term supported. WM version is XFWM 4.18.0, and light DM version is a 1.30.0, and I'm running it on a VMware, so it says as a VMware. And I'm using a 4 GB of RAM, which I already mentioned, and it's consuming like 944 MB. And this is my CPU information. If you want to check that out, if you can pause the video and check that out. So these are all the other information. Let's scroll down. Xauth version is here, 1.21.1.4. Xfwm version is a 4.18.0. So this is all the graphics information. So as you can see, LLVM version is 4.1, Mesa version is a 22.2.5. So the monitor resolutions available are completely here. So let's scroll it down, and Pipewire version is a 0.3.48. Pulse Audio version is a 15.99.1. ELSA version is also here. You can check that out. And I'm using a 80 GB of hard disk, which I already mentioned. It is here. Let's scroll it down and find other info. INXi version is a 3.3.13. Process running right now are 296. The uptime is a 3 minute. Wake-ups are 27 in it. Systemd version is a 249. GCC version already mentioned. Bash version is a 5.1.16. Let's type in the neofetch if it's available. Usually neofetch is pre-installed in a Linux Mint, and here it is. So let's type in cat:/etc/issue. So it says Linux Mint 21.2 Victoria, and the codename is also Victoria, which I already mentioned. So let's type in some commands. These are all the same commands which will give the same information as the above, just in a short form. INXi-b, INXi-capital G. So these are all the information we got from the distro. So let's type in htop. Htop is not installed, so let's try to install htop by typing sudo apt install htop. Click on enter. It's going to take like a 20 seconds maximum, and you should be having htop installed. Almost 90%, 100%. Just a few more seconds. It's installed, so let's type in htop now. So here is the information if you want. So all things completed. Let me close this thing. Close the window. Let's go to the installation. I'm not going to install it on the VMware also, or the main PC or a work PC, because it's a beta edition. I'm just going to show you the process of installation. That's it. Again, this will be the same installation steps. I'm just going to quickly run through, because you already know how to install Linux distro in the VMware or the main PC. There is nothing complicated things in the installation, just a few things like choosing your language, keyboard location, username, password. That's it. Nothing different in any Linux distro. There will be same things in the every Linux distro. So the language is English. The keyboard layout is also English. It's going to take a few seconds. And if you want to install the multimedia codecs, you can install it. Click on continue. It's going to prepare the Ubuntu drivers. It's going to take a few more seconds. So the beta ISO files are also released. So if you want to test it, you can test it. I will be providing a link if you want in the description. Only if you want to test it, you can test it. Don't try to install it on your main PC or work PC. Just wait for a few days, and the stable release will be released. So again, let's get back to the installation. If you want to erase the disk and install the Linux Mint, it's a bad idea right now because it's a beta edition. So this option will delete the current operating system, multimedia files, everything, and it's going to erase everything and install the Linux Mint. So if you want to do that, you can do that, or you can choose the something else to dual boot, like a dual operating system like that. This is the option. So after that, you can click on install now. It's going to take like 5 to 10 minutes, depends on your PC and all the speed of the PC and the Linux distro. And the Linux Mint 21.2 will be installed on your PC. So that's the installation process. Let me close this thing, and let's try to find some of the desktop features. So there is nothing changed, just the calendar time, all the things which were available in the previous version also, some volume thing, power option, connection, internet connection, and the notifications. So these are all the panels. The panel version will be 4.18.2 because it's a Xfce desktop environment. So properties, if you want to customize, you can customize. Again, Xfce desktop environment features are all same in the every desktop environment, not the desktop environment in every Linux distro. So let's check the file manager, which is tuner file manager, and the Xfce desktop environment has a tuner file manager. So that was the version. So let me quickly open some of the apps and see how good the Linux distro will handle the apps, like appearance. Let me quickly open like 5 to 10 apps on the system. Synaptic package manager. Let me open few more apps like software manager, Thunderbird, Firefox web browser. Let me open like 10 apps. Pix, text editor. Let's open the all applications and try to. Again, it is not allowing me because some of the apps are launching right now. It took few seconds their delay, like a LibreOffice also. Let me open that too. I think we opened like 6 apps, I guess 6 to 7 apps. So right now it's handling a bit good, not that bad. It's taking a few seconds here and there because I opened constantly, like 8 apps I guess now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 apps. There is no lag, but it's a bit delay. That's okay because it's a beta edition. Even the stable release do these things, so that will be a problem, I guess. And this is not a lightweight Linux distro. Linux Mint is a good mid-weight Linux distro, in my opinion. I don't know about others. So let's open something else like I think I opened software manager, so I think we are good. On the office side, we opened the LibreOffice. Let me open the dictionary also. On the multimedia, let me open the rhythm box. I think I opened the rhythm box already. Multimedia, Hypnotics, Celluloid. Let me open Celluloid. On the internet, what we got on the internet is Thunderbird, Firefox, and Xchat. We don't need that. Web apps. Let me open the drawing utility also. I think we are good. We already opened like almost like a 10 to 12 apps, I guess. So let's see the task manager right now and see how much of resources right now. The CPU is almost like a 3 GB, which is pretty good, I guess. In the Mac desktop environment, it was like a 2 GB. I didn't open this many apps. I opened like 10 apps, I guess, 8 to 10 apps, like just 2 apps less, I guess. It was like almost around like a 2 GB, 1.9 GB. It was consuming that much of RAM in the Mac desktop environment. But in the Xfce desktop environment, it's consuming like 3 GB. That's pretty high. It's clearly up to you to choose which desktop environment you want. You can compare all the videos of my Linux Mint 21.2 beta edition, and the Cinnamon desktop environment will be available tomorrow because I'll be posting 2 videos per day. Today I already posted Linux Mint Mac desktop environment and the Xfce, so you need to wait for tomorrow. I can't do 4 to 3 videos daily, so it will be very hard. So right now you can see the process and the CPU. It's almost like 80%, and if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, it will be a bad idea to use the Linux Mint because there will be a bit of lag, I guess. It's not be that usable, so it's clearly up to you. If you want to test it on a 2 GB of RAM, it's always a good idea to first live boot, and after you satisfied, go with the installation. So that is the tip I give you there. So as you can see, this is all the task manager. Let me check the version and close the apps and see the CPU and RAM usage also. This Lite version is 0.21. Let me close this thing. And you should be seeing a drop of graph in the CPU and RAM because we are closing all the apps after checking the version. About drawing is a 0.85. Let me close this thing also. And this is a Firefox web browser. You can download the ISO files from the Linux Mint 1.0 114. Let me close this thing also. And the LibreOffice version will be like a 7.3 because we saw that in a Mac desktop environment 7.3.7.2. Let me close this thing also. We have like a image viewer or a pictures. About pics, it's a 3.0.1. I think almost every Linux Mint desktop environment has the same apps with the same version, so it will be a waste of time, but we are going to do that anyway. Rhythmbox version is a 3.4.4. Here is the software manager. Let me minimize this thing. Snaptake. Let's first quickly close other apps and let's go to the software manager and Snaptake package manager later. Here is the dictionary, and here is the appearance. I think they have added some of the themes and wallpaper, I guess. Do let me know in the comment section if you find any difference in the Linux Mint 22.1 and 21.2. Sorry for that. I can't really say what's changed because I'll be making 2 videos daily. It will be very hard to remember everything because I'll be doing every new Linux distros. So whatever the new Linux distro is released, I should make that video on that. So it will be very hard what is changed in the older versions of Linux Mint. So do let me know in the comments below. If there is like a release note announced, I will be posting that in the description. You don't need to be worried. If you find anything new, you can type it or post it in the comment section. So it will be very helpful for the other viewers too. So this is my channel URL. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe because I'll be posting 2 videos daily. If you don't want to miss it, you can subscribe. This is the text editor version. Let me close it. Thunderbird version should be 102.11.0. Let me close that thing also. And as you can see, it's almost like a 2 GB. 1 GB is low, and CPU is also going on the low side. So let me close this thing. That's it. And let's open the Snaptake package manager. Let's check the version first. It should be like a 0.90.2. So the installed version will be highlighted with the green box and the installed version will be here. So let me quickly scroll it down. I'm not going to slow it down the video because you need to slow it down the video in the playback speed in the YouTube. Like change the speed to 0.25 and you should be seeing in a slow-mo. If I scroll it down very slowly, it's going to take ages to complete the video. It's already like a 20-minute video. So I don't think most of the people watch that much of lengthy videos. So let's check the version. Here is the version. So if you want to type anything, you can type in here. The apps will be available. Let's close this thing. And there is a freeze here, I guess. I think software manager is freezed. Let's try to close. It's closed. Desktop settings. Let's check out the wallpapers. I think these are all some of the new wallpaper, I guess, like this one, this 2-3 wallpapers, I guess. Do let me know in the comments below because I properly don't remember, to be honestly. So there are some of the good wallpapers. This one is very good. So I think I covered everything, I guess. Let's check the lock screen also. So there is a lock screen. I didn't show that in the Mac desktop environment, so here it is. I think that's the end of the video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. I already made a Mac desktop environment. If you want to check that out, you can check that out. And for the Cinnamon desktop environment, you need to wait for tomorrow. So there will be a video tomorrow. So again, peace out.